Tesla has a huge surprise announcement coming very soon that's about to change everything. Right now is like the worst time to buy any Tesla model because you're gonna wanna wait for this. I already know this video is going to be more than a little controversial. So if you're a current Tesla owner, you have a Tesla right now, I want you to watch this video and tell me down below in the comments if you agree or disagree with my advice and my analysis. And if you're a potential Tesla owner looking to take delivery or looking to buy a Tesla, be sure to watch this video because I'm gonna give you the pros and cons and share with you some info you're not gonna hear anywhere else to make sure you don't make a very expensive mistake. I love Teslas, but right now is kind of the best and worst time to buy almost every single model. Let me explain what I mean and try not to start a firestorm in the comments below. Also, huge thanks to Recurrent for sponsoring this video. To be totally honest, right now is a very confusing time in the world of Tesla. We just got this all new refresh Model 3 that's amazing, but it's not available in North America, and Tesla North America won't even acknowledge this car actually officially exists. There are some insane discounts to be had on Model 3s and Model Ys, but prices fluctuate like crazy and not always in a good way. These cars have some brand new hardware and brand new features, but sometimes those new features are sort of a downgrade that cause you to miss staple Tesla features, and of course Tesla doesn't communicate this to you at all. To be honest, even as someone who follows the Tesla news every single day, it's a little confusing, even for me. And not only do I love Tesla and I own 2 Teslas, but I have a Model Y, which I love, and the Model 3. So if I love these cars so much, hi Model Y, why am I telling you not to buy them right now? Well, there's a couple of big reasons, with the first being a big secret, and I guess one that's not such a big secret anymore, and that is the new Model 3 Highland refresh. And I'll get into the details more in a second of what was added, but I mean, as great as this car is, it was starting to look a bit dated in a couple of specific ways. One is that the design really hasn't changed all that much at all since Tesla originally debuted it a number of years ago now, and the Model Y shares basically the exact same design DNA as the Model 3, and I'm gonna get run over. No, I'm not. There we go. A little bit of cross traffic there. But the other thing you're gonna notice here is that the interior specifically definitely needed a refresh. Tesla went for what was, at the time, I guess, considered to be a nice premium minimal wood trim. Let me make sure there's no music playing there. But today in 2023 just looks honestly a little bit dated. It's minimal, it's clean, it's great. And as much as some might like the wood paneling, it wasn't all that great. And it just needed a little bit of refreshing here. There wasn't any ventilated seat option here. Of course, no rear screen. The audio system, some complained, wasn't good. The car's great, but definitely needed a little something, which is why Tesla just announced, finally, after lots of rumors and speculation, a refresh for this car. Tesla just released the biggest update to the Model 3 this car has ever seen. Its code name internally and in the rumor mill was Project Highland, but to the public, it's just the all-new Model 3. It's got a radical new design on the front and back of the car. It's got a totally refreshed interior. Tesla says this vehicle is made up of 50% new materials. It's got better noise isolation in the cabin. It's got ventilated seats. It's got a rear display. It's got an improved front display. There are some new color options, new wheel options. There is so much to love about this all-new Model 3 if it's available where you live. But as exciting as the all-new Highland refresh is, there is one major regression, one big complaint that many people aren't happy about, and that is the removal of physical stocks. In the current Model 3 and Model Y, you've got physical stocks here used for doing things like controlling your turn indicators, your wipers. You've got the ability here to shift from, park to drive to reverse to neutral, all that stuff, activating autopilot. You didn't do that on the screen, you did it with actual physical buttons and controls, which are obviously very sparse and limited inside of this car. But what Tesla has decided to do with the new Highland, oh, nice Model X right there, which actually makes my point. What it doesn't have, and what it's lacking, is going to be the physical stock. So now Tesla has made a change that moves that onto the screen. So you're doing your shifting into drive and to park and everything basically that you do on the physical stocks are moved to 2 places. One is going to be shifting on the screen and the other is going to be on behind the wheel, but many just do not like that Tesla is removing more features. And in a car that's already super minimal, they are removing more physical parts and the stocks are gone, which many people just don't like on the new Highland refresh. If you do live in a part of the world where this Model 3 is available, then I would definitely recommend buying it because it is a great car, and you can disregard my advice on Model 3, because if you can take advantage of actually buying this new Highland refresh, then by all means, buy this car. It's the latest and greatest Tesla has to offer. It is bringing a bunch of improvements, both with the hardware and also sort of the creature comforts you're going to enjoy with the software experience. It's just a really, really great car. The problem, though, is that it's not available all around the world, and in certain large markets like North America, this car does not only not exist, but there's also no timetable, no ETA, no announcement from Tesla as to when, if ever, we could actually see this car available here. Now, if we dive into this a little bit deeper and we look at what the rumor mill has to say, according to Tesla Scope and Drive Tesla Canada, they say it's likely a 2024 launch is going to be the time frame for the new Model 3 Highland in North America, probably a early 2024 launch, as the Fremont production facility should switch over to building this new Model 3 sometime before the end of the year. So that sort of gives you a bit of a timetable to work with, but again, take it with a grain of salt. If you're not in a part of the world where you can buy the car, then it's hard for me to recommend the current Model 3 right now because we know this new one exists and Tesla's just not communicating it. And look, I totally understand the counter argument to this, and that is a couple of things. One is that the inventory discounts on this car are pretty sweet from Tesla, especially as we approach the end of quarter. You can get thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars off the actual price of this car. Then you add in the federal incentives and state incentives and local incentives. You can save thousands, if not in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars off of this car, giving you a really great car for the price. And when you look at the incentives and the potential savings you can get, then yes, that sort of changes the dynamic a bit. If you're paying full price for the car, it's a bit of a different story, maybe even a couple $1,000s off. But if you're able to take advantage of some big incentives and save a lot of money, that makes what is, an older Model 3 much more appealing, to be honest. But again, my big thing is that if you don't find any good discounts or you don't have any good local incentives, you're just looking at a Model 3 right now, it's just hard for me to recommend it because we know this new model is out and it has lots of big upgrades and lots of big features and improvements. It's sort of like telling you that you should go out and buy an iPhone right now when we know that the iPhone is coming next week, which is sort of the case right now. Or not only that, but it's like telling someone to go to the store and buy an iPhone when Apple just announced the iPhone. It's just not available to you just yet. That's where it's hard to sort of justify it. This also does put the Model Y in a bit of a precarious situation as well, as it's now sort of an awkward recommendation to buy. It is the world's best-selling car for a reason. It's an amazing EV. You're getting the hatchback experience. It's a great car for the price, but when you compare it to Highland, it's already now starting to look dated. And especially since there are rumors of a refresh coming, it's hard to recommend this car because it's got the older design on the front and the back. It's going to have, obviously, the older interior with the wood and the physical stalks and, sans RGB ambient lighting and ventilated seats. It's a great car, but with rumors of a refresh on the horizon, is now really a good time to buy the Model Y when we know huge changes are coming and we know exactly what they're gonna look like? Now, I'll come back to my Tesla buying advice in just a moment, but first, I've got something really, really cool to share with you guys, and that is a little behind the scenes look at something cool I got to do recently, and a little bit of a cool story. A few months ago, I had the opportunity to fly to Nashville and meet with some of the top EV influencers, Andy Sly, Cobra Tolja, Eddie X, and shoot a commercial for a company that I'm really passionate about, one that I really believe in, and also one that has been a longtime supporter and partner on this channel, and that is Recurrent. And if you haven't heard of them before, Recurrent is an amazing company really revolutionizing the EV industry by doing 3 important things to help you. They're gonna help you buy an EV, they're gonna help you sell an EV and potentially make more money off of a healthy battery. And also, if you're an EV owner, they're going to give you the data you need really easily and on a monthly basis to make sure your battery's in tip-top shape and to maximize your range and battery health for as long as possible. They have a totally free monthly battery report that comes to your inbox every single month and gives you the data you need to know in a fun, clear, and really easy way to understand. I've got access to really important information. I can see my current range. I can see my future range predictions. I can see how my EV EV compares to similar vehicles that Recurrent is also tracking. And most importantly here, I can see how my daily charging habits are going to help or hurt my battery and my range in the long run. Recurrent has an amazing team of scientists that really show you how this data is going to affect your battery and how things like temperature can affect your range. It's amazing, and I look forward to getting this in my inbox every single month. And if you're looking to sell your EV, Recurrent can help with that as well. They're able to calculate a good battery premium so you can potentially get more money for the sale of your EV, and they're going to connect you to dealers that really understand why a healthy battery for an EV is so important. There's no spam or commitments here. They're going to help you just get connected, and you can get offers you can accept or ignore. Recurrent is an amazing company that I have been just so lucky to partner with. I believe in what they're doing. They're doing so many amazing things for consumers and giving the power of data to consumers, to you guys, you and I, in a way that's easy to understand and really helps us get the most out of our EV battery and the health of our EV battery. They're amazing. I love what they're doing. And the commercial I was in and the commercials by the other EV influencers I got to work with are live right now. So I'll throw a link down below to a page where you can check those out. Check out my first commercial shoot. It was such a blast. So awesome to meet some of the Recurrent team in person, meet those influencers, and also just get behind a company that I really care about. If you guys want to learn more about Recurrent, check it out for yourself today. And again, sign up for that totally free monthly battery report. They make it so simple, so easy. Hit the link down below to learn more and check out Recurrent for yourself, totally free today. Reuters not only broke the story on the Model 3 Highland refresh, but they also broke the story on the Model Y refresh. And according to a lengthy Reuters report, Tesla is working on an update to the Model Y. It's codenamed Project Juniper internally, and it's going to refresh the Model Y in all the same ways as the Model 3. It's going to get that new front design, the new back design, the new tail lights, the new headlights. It's going to hopefully get the same new color options, some new wheel options, and then of course, all the creature comforts on the inside. You're going to get the ventilated seats. You're going to get the rear display. You're going to get the RGB ambient lighting, and maybe even more features, since Tesla does have a little bit of more room to play with the Model Y, especially with the hatchback in the back. But as exciting as this refresh is, to be fully transparent, according to that Reuters report, they said that this wouldn't happen, or launch rather, until the end of 2024. So we're talking about 18 months from right now until the Model Y comes out, which again sort of puts the Model Y in a bit of an awkward position. Now, there have been some rumors lately, some new ones, suggesting that we may see sort of this stopgap update that would bring some of the new refresh features, but not all of the new refresh features, but we don't exactly know what it could be bringing, and we don't know when that could be coming. It would definitely make sense, since the Model Y is already outdated compared to the new Model 3 refresh, so that makes sense. But again, these are just rumors, and we don't know when that could be happening, if it's happening at all. Now, while yes, a refresh is coming, and that's definitely going to be an important thing to consider if you're considering buying a Model Y, I will say the one advantage the Model Y does have over the Model 3 is that these cars, at least here in the US, and I believe internationally, do not have hardware for these older pre-refresh models, while the Model Y does. Not only does it have the same AMD Ryzen processor that's in the new Model 3 refresh, but these new vehicles, mine doesn't because it's older, but the new vehicles do have hardware for cameras, so you are getting the latest and greatest Tesla full self-driving vision system. Even if you buy a car today or throughout the end of 2023, you are getting a car that is technically up to date and is going to have all of the hardware you need to do all of your FSD beta and better video recording stuff. It's going to have the hardware needed, which is a great advantage of the Model Y that the older Model 3s, what is now the older Model 3, simply does not have. These cars do not have hardware for, so they're already majorly lagging in that department. On that note, I will say one of the awkward things about buying a Tesla right now is that you're getting some new advanced features that probably aren't fully utilized in software. For example, Tesla has been including hardware 4 with all of their vehicles except the Model 3 for a while now, at least here in the US. But up until recently, there was no full self-driving beta access on hardware 4 vehicles. Now it is there, but it's behind what hardware 3 cars have. And we also have instances where even if you spent what is right now $12,000 of full self-driving money to get full self-driving, you're not going to get all the features on your brand new Tesla, because as advanced as hardware 4 is, the software just isn't there yet. There's a lot of instances on cars like the Model X, for example, where they have all these sensors and different things they can do, but the software hasn't caught up yet, so the features are lackluster or they're missing altogether. It's been a really big pain point in the Tesla community recently, and does make it hard to recommend buying a new Tesla right now, especially if you care or are going to invest in full self-driving. You're not going to get all the features on your brand new Tesla. You're going to spend all this money and not get the stuff, which is something to keep in mind. For some people, it might be a reason not to buy a new Tesla entirely, but for others, maybe a reason at the very least to hold off from spending 12 grand on full self-driving or even subscribing until the software catches up to the modern hardware. Moving on to the Model S and Model X, this is good and bad because there's a lot of controversy and honestly, a lot of crazy conspiracy theories about these cars right now. I mean, you can look at this graph and see just how much S and X prices have dropped dramatically over the last 12 months alone. We're talking like $40,000 on some models. And on one hand, right now is an excellent time to buy a Model S or Model X, especially the base Model X. If you change nothing, all the paint options are free. But if you don't change the interior color, wheels, or go with the yoke, and you get the base model, you can actually qualify, if your income qualifies, for the $7,500 federal tax credit, lowering the price of this car even more, which is really great. You're getting a Model X for a substantial discount. That is awesome to see, and Model S is obviously an amazing car. If you've been in the market for one and you've sort of been on the fence, now is a really good time considering prices probably aren't going to stay this low for long because Tesla's already starting to see the tick up, or I should say uptick rather, of the demand, and they're saying this price cut's working. On the other hand, one of the reasons not to buy a Model S or an X are, well, I guess a couple of reasons. One is that there are rumors a refresh is going to be coming at some point. It would bring some of the new stuff from Highland, the new interior cues. So it would be the RGB ambient lighting, it would be the front bumper camera, and some other features that Tesla's implementing on their new vehicles would be on their new higher end vehicles, but that's not there yet. And we have no idea when that update is coming. And there's also a couple of theories that Tesla could be maybe sunsetting the Model S or Model X. There are some people that believe that Tesla's going to cancel the line altogether. I don't believe that, but there definitely is an instance to be, or an argument to be made rather, that the S and the X, although they are the most expensive Tesla cars, they get the least amount of attention possible. The Model 3 and Model Y are not only significantly cheaper, but because of that, they are the bread and butter of Tesla. They are the mass market car, and Tesla sells way more 3s or Ys than they do the S or the X. So you are getting some premium features with the S or the X, but it's not as quick to get software updates, it's not as quick to get other features, and in some ways you're sacrificing to pay more money to get a car and not get all of the features that the less expensive 3 or Y would get. I don't know, again, if I believe the rumors that Tesla's going to discontinue the line altogether, but do know that if you buy an S or an X, you are going to be missing out on a refresh right now, and there are, some features that are going to be coming to the 3 and the Y that you're not going to get on the S and X for years, if not ever at all. Lastly, in terms of my buying advice for Cybertruck, I've got 2 words for you. Good luck. We still, at the time of recording this video, do not have final specs. We don't have final pricing. We don't even have a release date locked in. So we don't know anything on the final info on the Cybertruck. And not only that, when Tesla does start deliveries, there are 1 million plus people who have reserved a Cybertruck, or at least put the deposit down. So we have no idea where you'd be in line if you were to order today. We don't know how the configuration process is going to look like, where they're going to start with deliveries, how long it's going to take to move through the list, how many people are still going to have valid reservations. We have no idea. So if you want a Cybertruck, you can place that reservation order now, but be prepared to wait quite a while because it's going to take Tesla quite a while to ramp up their production to start making Cybertrucks enough to make a dent in that reservation list. Of course, the 1 million plus people who put down $100 are not all going to get Cybertrucks, but a good majority of them are. And if you place an order today, you're going to be at the back of the line, and it's going to be a minute. All right, guys, I'm really curious. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I know there's a lot of controversy around this. I know telling people not to buy a Tesla right now can be seen as blasphemous and bad advice as someone who covers Teslas, but honestly, I wanted to do some sort of advice video to help those out, and I think there are a lot of people who are looking at 3s and Ys should know what is coming around the corner. For some people, these updates just don't matter, and that's totally fine, but for others, it's a big deal. So let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Also, if you made it to the end of the video, I want you to drop down below what car you've got, what Tesla, even if you got a non-Tesla, tell me what car you've got and tell me what your favorite feature of that car is. And if you drop that comment, you like the video, and you subscribe to the channel, I'm going to be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card to someone in the comments. Also, just to reiterate, I'm not going to message you and tell you to talk to me on Telegram. I'm not going to message you and ask you to pay for something. That's not what I'm going to do. I am going to contact you directly with my official checkmark by me saying it's verified to be me, so please do not fall for anyone who's impersonating me, but drop that comment below, like the video, subscribe, and I'm going to pick somebody in a week to give away some free Amazon money to as a thank you from me to you. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.